He's got a 10,000 square foot storage yard, a 700 square foot warehouse scrapping facility, a dumpster rental operation, and a vision to reuse all this stuff in the future. The boss of this e-waste operation is 15 years old.
I'm Ryan Easton. I own and operate Ryan's Recycling Services out of Mount Pearl, Newfoundland. We do dumpster rentals, scrap car removal, appliance recycling, metal recycling, e-waste recycling.
Wait, what grade are you in?
9.
By now, you're likely thinking that Easton grew up in some business-savvy family. But his mom says,
no, I'm healthcare. My husband was healthcare. Entrepreneurship, no, and all 3 kids seem to have some sort of that gene.
he picked up the skills he needed to run this venture on YouTube.
People posting videos about how to do stuff, and I kept on learning more and more and more, and started learning stuff on my own.
Like what?
How to take apart the appliances.
And then he'd bring something home, like a microwave, and he'd say, oh, there's a heat sink in this, and there's a transformer in this, and there's this much wire, and it weighs this many pounds. And I'm like, okay, great.
I started picking up old stuff from people's houses and a couple garages, and saving it up in my backyard.
He started talking about the warehouse, and I just thought, like, you're getting in over your head. Like, come on, he was, 13 at the time. Like, you're joking, right? But before you know it, we were up here talking to the landlord.
And then last April, I moved in here.
He was only here a couple weeks, and he was like, I want that yard out there. I'm like, it's too many bills. You're going to get in over your head.
And last June, I started renting the yard.
And he said it filled. That's the other thing. Like, then it grew to appliances and then cars to scrap, and you don't know what's coming in from one day to the next.
So tell us a little bit about the business plan that you've set out with here.
So I started buying appliances about last August. So we'll process the metals, and then we'll sell them to a bulk buyer.
And is it good business?
Yeah. From last August to the end of last year, we did about 185 tons of scrap steel, which is about 300,000 pounds.
What's the biggest thing that surprised you as a mom?
Oh, well, there's lots, but his financial savviness is pretty impressive too. Like, I don't question his numbers anymore. I remember the first time that he bought like a load of copper wire or copper pipe or something it was, and he spent a couple $100. And we went to like another yard to sell it, and I'm on my pins and needles thinking he's gonna lose his shirt. He's gonna lose his shirt. He comes out and he says, I doubled my money.
Well, I started this out, I didn't spend a single dollar to start this up. I kept reinvesting all the money I made from it and kept growing.
What's been the biggest challenge so far?
Probably starting into the dumpster rentals. We bought a trailer and it has 4 bins. And then around the middle of summer, we bought 2 more bins for it.
Are you old enough to drive?
No, my dad drives for me.
So that's one challenge.
Yeah.
With a growing business in Donovan's, he's also got growth plans for his 3rd annual Earth Day free e-waste collection event. And free is key because
Most people, if they have to pay for it, they'll just throw it in their garbage bucket and let it go on down to the landfill.
And why is that bad?
You got to re-mine all those new materials again, and it's polluting the earth with all the stuff in the landfill.
I read an article or saw an article a year or 2 ago that said there's more precious metals in the landfill than there is in a mine. And that's just mind-boggling, right? And it's disgusting that we're doing that. So I'm on the ride with them now.
So how many people work for your business?
It's my mom and my dad help me out mostly, and I'll have a couple of my buddies help me out too.
and they are all going to be on deck at Ryan's Recycling.
We're doing it from 10 to 3 on April 20th. We're taking all kinds of electronics and metals, so like your computers, your laptops, phones, tablets, all kinds of stuff like that, old appliances, stuff like that.
This is like the event, and it's just great seeing what comes through, talking to a lot of people. Like I said, there's just so many opportunities in an event like that to say, and though people have come with questions too, right? You know, what about this? Do you take this? What about this? Do you take this? And then that's an opportunity to say, well, not only yes, do we take it, but here's why, and here's what's valuable in it. And, you know, don't be throwing this stuff in the garbage. And there's just I think there's so much education yet because people still don't know.
Where do you see yourself in 20 years from now?
I'd like to have multiple locations and a good few people hired on.
You want to stay in Newfoundland and Labrador?
Yeah.
All this, and he's not old enough to drive yet.
Right. In his parking lot, he can drive.
And you're not allowed to drive a vehicle yet. What about these bad boys, though? Are you allowed to drive these?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Well, on my own property, but.
Krissy Holmes, CBC News, Mount Pearl.